Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome back. All right, so we've got a fun lecture today. We're going to be using some color coding. Here we go. So you will need 4 different colors. I've got my standard writing utensil and a highlighter, and of course my glue to get all of my notes in. I have a title. You need to have this item. It had a word over here, but I trimmed that off because the word was blurry and I didn't want to use it. And then you have like 10 of these little guys that are all exactly the same. We're going to make changes to them as we're taking notes today. So I'm going to start off by updating my table of contents. Got a little smushed there. All right, and this is where we left off yesterday. This was the conversation that you had with my guest lecturer. There they are. You'll want to leave a KWL for the assignment that was given for this lecture. So go ahead and leave a space for KWL. And we'll take notes on the very next page. We will need at least 2 pages of notes for today. So please prepare for yourself 2 full pages of notes. Today is the 5th of November. Make sure that you've updated your title and objectives. As always, they are located under the La Feria logo on your overhead projector screen. If you can't read the objectives from where you're sitting, I again direct you to the whiteboard just to your left of me. I'm going to take a moment to write my objectives. This is what my handwriting looks like when I'm writing quickly. And I'm shadowed, so I can't see what I'm writing. All right, so today's objective, we're going to be identifying angle pairs created by a transversal. So we'll have to define what a transversal is, remind you of that. We're also going to be saying and writing the names of those 5 angle pairs that get created. So we're going to have 5 big important key items for today. All right, let's go ahead and get started and make this look larger. There you go. Should be bigger, easier to see. All righty. Here we go. Let's start off with a recall. The recall showed up, a few months ago, I think, toward the beginning of the school year when we were talking about intersecting lines. And we mentioned it just briefly, and that was this word transversal. Transversal is a line that intersects 2 or more lines, other lines. And the graphic looks kind of like this one. And so this line right here, that's the transversal. Is that orange dark enough to read? Okay. That's the transversal. Now when we're talking about this transversal cutting into these two other lines, we have two things that get created. We have an interior space and an exterior space. Please write them with just enough room to write another word here because we're not done. This is the interior space. It's the space that happens between the lines that are getting intersected. There's your interior space. And your exterior is going to be all the stuff outside of the lines that are being intersected. So all this out here is exterior. Now what these interior and exterior spaces end up creating right here against the transversal are these angles. This would be an exterior angle. These would be interior angles. So we're able to start talking about things like interior angles and exterior angles. Put a double bar because up next are all of our angle pairs. So we're going to title over this double bar the 5 angle pairs. So from that line below and below are our 5 angle pairs. Glue in any one of your figures. You've got 10 of these that are all identical, so any one you want. We'll be making the changes as we go to them. Our first angle pair is going to be the angle pair that's known as the same side interior angles. You remember this? These angle pairs are going to be found on the same side of the transversal as each other. And they're going to be on the inside of the lines being intersected. So in the interior. Break out your colors. So same side, meaning they're both going to be on this side of the transversal, or they are going to be on this side of the transversal. And interior means they're going to be in this space in between the two lines that are getting intersected by the transversal. So 3 and 5 are a pair of same side interior angles. I'm out, completely out, I'm sorry. What's the other pair of same side interior angles? 4 and 6, because those are also on the same side of the transversal as each other, and they're inside the two lines that have been intersected. Very nice. I'm using the colors and the different shapes to help create a legend so that you can see which angles are doing what. When you're done with that one, go ahead and glue in the next item. Another one of these little figures. And again, doesn't matter which one because they're all the same. All right, our next pair of angles that are formed by a transversal on some intersecting lines are the same side exterior angles. Like the one above, these are also going to end up on the same side of the transversal as each other. But instead of being on the inside of the lines being intersected, they are going to be on the outside of the lines being intersected. And that's because we have the word exterior in their name.
So it's 1, 2, 7, 8.
1 and 7 would be same side exterior. And 2 and 8. Now notice that as I'm marking these down, the angles aren't always on the same line. They're on the same transversal, but they're not on the same line that is being intersected. They're on different lines that have gotten intersected. So when you are asked to identify them, please make sure that you're looking at the different lines. Okay, I'll leave this here for just a few moments so that you can catch up. Let me know when you're ready to move on. Thank you. If you're contemplating how much space you have available, you're going to need at least this same amount of room on the bottom of your page to do the next item.
Huh?
Yes?
I need to see Latrell Gallegos in the office, please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You need to leave at least this much space at the bottom of your page. If you have at least this much space at the bottom page, you can continue on the same page. If you do not, you need to go on to a new page. I'm ready to go on to a new page. Are you? Yes, thank you. Thank you. Ready? Yes, thank you. Pausing again, we've got a few more people still writing. All right, thank you. Okay. I'm on a fresh page of notes. Go ahead and set this up with another one of your 10 little figures here. And again, I'm not using very much glue right now because I'm running low, so I'm just enough to get it to stick to the page. Alright, the next angle pair that we have is going to be the alternate interior angle pair. Alternate interior angles. Now what that word alternate means is that we're, instead of being on the same side of the transversal, we're now going to be on opposite sides of the transversal. So one of your alternate interior angles is going to be on this side, and the other one is going to be on the other side. Again, that word interior just means that we are going to be inside the lines that are being intersected. And so a pair of alternate interior angles would be 3 and 6. What's the other pair? 4 and 5, says Jordy. What do you think, Justin? 4 and 5, he says, are the other pair. Alex is nodding. Take a look at 4 and 5. Are they on opposite sides of the transversal from each other? Yes or no? Yes. Are they on the interior of the lines being intersected? Yes, which means these two are alternate interior angles. Make sense? All right. We are almost done with notes. We have 2 more angle pairs to look at. I'm going to scroll this up a little bit. All right. The next angle pair is the alternate exterior angles. Just like the above, opposite or alternate is going to mean that they are on opposite sides of the transversal from each other. And like before, exterior, bless you, means that we are outside of the lines being intersected. One and 8 are such a pair of alternate exterior angles. What's the other pair? 2 and 7, says Andy. What do you think, Troy? 2 and 7? Yes. They are on opposite sides of the transversal, and they are on the exterior of the lines being intersected. Nicely done, gentlemen. We have 1 angle pair left. And if you're writing a composition book along with me, we have just enough room to make that happen. All right, the very last pair of angles that we have is called the corresponding angle pair. These corresponding angles are going to be on the same side of the transversal as each other. But unlike the interior and the exterior, they're going to be in different locations. One of them is going to be an interior angle, and the other one is going to be an exterior angle. One and 5 is an example of one such pair of corresponding angles. What's another pair? 7 and 3, very nice. There are 2 other pairs in this figure that are corresponding angles. 2 and 6, he says. Let me catch up here. Two and 6. Two and 6 are indeed corresponding because they're on the same side of the transversal from each other. And 2 is an exterior angle and 6 is an interior angle. What's the last pair you said? 4 and 8. All right, there it is. 4 and 8 are also corresponding. When you're done jotting all this down, go to the very next page of your notes. But don't set it up to take notes. Oh, you probably have plenty of room on that bottom. Yeah, nicely done. You're going to need at least 3/4 of a page for this next item. All right, you ready? I got some nods. All right, here's what I need you to write at the very top. Notebook check number 7. And this one is going to be using the lecture that we just finished taking. What I need you to do is I need you to write the name of and then label one of each angle pair that we just studied. Name and label one of each angle pair that was just studied. So you're going to take this whole page and you're going to fill and glue it in with the 5 remaining blanks that you have available to you. Doesn't matter where you put them. Doesn't even matter what direction you put them in. And you're going to name each one. So this one can be same side interior. This can be alternate interior. Same side exterior. Alternate exterior. And the bottom one can be corresponding. All you have to do is name which one you're going to draw. And then just like here, well, all we did was mark the angle pairs. You just need to mark 1. Some of them have 2, some of them have 4. I only need 1. Okay? Do that, show it to me as soon as you're done. I will be happy to put 100 for you in the grade book. Thank you very much.
Does it go for this 6 weeks or next week?
I want to try to put it in for the 6 weeks. Mhm.